Fan TV for the fans, by the fans, damn it. Nikki had a good time with Bogart last night. Maybe too good of a time. How's that feel? We are top of the league. Say we are top of the league. We are top of the league. Say we are top of the league.
One big piece of things today that's missing, I think, is our girl Heidi. First and foremost, shout out to Heidi, the matriarch of certainly Southbound and Crown, but in my opinion, Charlotte FC.
Yes, I agree.
So had a nice moment in the stadium for her.
That's right.
Picture up there, which is the least we can do.
Great picture.
I think she had a little something to do with the 2-0 win today, right?
Of course you did.
She's enjoying that.
Just hear her.
Yeah. No, she didn't fall over any stairs. No helmet required.
Bronico. That man.
Come in on this. I want to come on this because I was the one saying bring Bronico into the game as a starter. The mayor, we needed it, and he brought it.
And what you really think about the game? You think the game was a good game, like first half?
Here for the fans, by the fans.
I don't know it.
Finish it off.
I don't know it.
Damn it! Damn it!
San Diego, Ego Malego, go find Diego. Charlotte gonna win the motherfucking MLS Cup. And that's what my word.
I don't know what caused that besides maybe the rain.
The rain.
And
First like a song.
We broke our 13 record streak
we did.
at the bank.
You know
We
what?
broke our 13 record streak.
I think it's
We didn't break it. Minnesota did.
I think it's because Taylor Swift just released an album and
No.
13.
No Swiftie on this. Cut this. Hey,
The
right
lucky
here,
number
JT.
is
We're cutting
13,
it.
so we had to stop it at 13.
It is the 13 because Taylor stopped it at 13.
All right, well.
Yeah.
Yeah, kill the wood. Yeah.
Kill the women?
No.
That
Swift-
Candace?
I did not say that.
What's going on? You know what's going down? You know what's going down? All right.
Yes.
I mean, there were some different clips in there that I don't think I saw last week.
Oh, there are different clips in there all the time. You know me, always doing
Fair
different clips.
Fair
Not
enough.
really. Hey, welcome CLTFC Fan TV for the fans, by the fans. Damn it.
Admit.
Check this out. I'm on this side because Lee doesn't have shit behind him.
I do too.
I was like, Lee, you got to put you over. Well, you have a big blank whatever behind you that way. So I'm JT, that's Lee, and this is Cutmaster Cool V. Vaughn, what is up?
What's up,
Yo,
Vaughn?
I'm so pumped to be back with you, buddies. Let's go.
It's been a minute, man.
Fun show, right? When we ask you to do it, you're like, all right, I'm gonna do my thing, but at the same time, if I don't have many notes or whatever, we just gonna have a good time.
Yeah,
We're just gonna roll with it today.
That's it, man. Man, there was something I was going to say before we got going. I can't remember. Man, I tell you, my short-term memory shots, man. I don't know what it is. And I don't know what it is. Old age. I'm going to leave it up to old age.
It might be the shots. Also, you're about to go on a big vacation, so you're not even thinking about this right now.
Well, I'm always thinking about Charlotte FC. I'm just going to wear my Charlotte FC to the Real Madrid game next Saturday. How about them?
What?
Yeah.
You're going to I know you were going to Madrid, but you're going to go to the Real Madrid game?
Yeah, Saturday. I'm gonna wear my Charlotte FC.
Hey, this is about Charlotte FC. It ain't about no Spanish stuff. And you know what? You know that game's not gonna happen because they're not gonna have any power.
Don't say that, man. They
As long
really
as you're in for Barcelona, it's all good.
Yeah, they're playing Celtic Vigo this Saturday, I believe, right? They played Barcelona last week.
Yeah.
So, anyways, yes. No, I mean, yeah, we won't talk about it. But yeah, it's funny, man. There's a lot of chatter already going on in there about some of this weekend's game, man. I think, where do we want to start, Vaughn? You want to start about the Zaha Snapchat post, or you want to talk about the offside?
Yeah, let's jump into some Zaha. He wants to make it all about him. Let's talk about Zaha.
I have that as my number one thing to talk about, and I wanted, if y'all will indulge my Hunter S. Thompson look, I wanted to read the post as Zaha. So if you're going to talk about the post, talk about Zaha overall. When it's time for me to read the post, let me do it.
Why don't you just go ahead and read the post, and then we can comment on it afterwards? Uh-oh, he's got to get his Zaha drink down.
Zaha, I wonder, is he sponsored by a drink? I wonder. I do have to keep my readers on, and I gotta figure out where it is, but I think it's really close. All right, here we go.
Shh, be quiet, Vaughn.
Typical. That's me doing the emoji.
Yeah, we
lost the game, and somehow it's Zaha's fault. I dribble. I'm selfish. I keep it simple. I'm not doing what I'm being paid to do. I shoot. I should have passed. I passed. I should finish my chances. Adjusting to a year out not playing properly. Only trained fully for maybe 3 weeks because of having a newborn. Bronco got a newborn.
Bronco does have a
newborn. On AstroTurf. I mean, I get it, man, but that's a long time ago. As far as fake grass, AstroTurf, it's the worst. For the first time in my whole career, I usually wouldn't reply to this stupid shit. I don't know what that emoji is, but I'm pretty much sure he's saying shit. But I'm not a scapegoat for people to waffle. We need to give them a Waffle House about at clubs anymore. Zaha, this is Zaha talking in third person. I like that. That would be that. But we had the best start ever, facts, and been first in the league. So please stop chapping. I don't even know what that means, especially my name.
Chirping. Stop chirping. Stop talking shit.
Well, I know. Hey, it says chapping.
Yeah, I know.
So, and it might mean chirping. Thanks. Hey, the best is let me just finish. The best is thanks management. I do like that. I mean, I get it.
Yeah. So
right,
to stay off of Facebook for sure.
They'll Snapchat though, and then someone took it and moved it all around.
Yeah. Vaughn, I'll let you start off, man. When you saw that, what did you think?
I mean, I think it was a little unnecessary for the moment in time, right? Like, I don't think the bulk of the fan base, 95, 96, 97% of the fan base was not pinning this game on Zaha, or really any of the results, success or failure. I think we've been calling for Zaha to, find the back of the net a little bit more, find ways to get more involved. But really, the past 2 games, I think, have been among his better games out there. Has he found the back of the net? No. Was this a game where nobody scored, and this is when he's supposed to be that game changer? Sure. But I think he's listening to somebody online a little bit too much.
So,
this guy's dealt with pressure in England and in other places in Europe. Like, if MLS fans and people getting into his DMs or yelling at him on the sideline are getting to him, like, I don't know, man.
That's my point, though. We all sort of automatically assumed it was Shard FC fan base and around Shard FC that he was bitching at, right? I mean, it could be some troll over in Europe that's just like finally just triggered him, just saying like, he went to the MLS and he, just because he didn't perform. Like, was it Saturday's game that he was, it could just be a combination of things, but it just felt like all the pundits all of a sudden kind of ran at him or ran at Charlotte FC, like, and sort of started talking about how like Charlotte FC fans are not happy with him. Cause like literally after the game, when we were interviewing, everybody was pretty much saying for the most part, right, that was one of the better games we saw him play. Like the first 15 minutes, that guy was cooking.
Yeah. Well, and the sentiments he expressed, like, they're accurate. Like, I think part of it is like, we can all kind of read it. And it's like, yeah, it's true. If you're losing possession, people are going to say, why aren't you passing it up? You're being too selfish with the ball. If you're being, not finding the game, right? Like, people are always going to complain. At the end of the day, people are always going to find a way to complain. And yeah, this team right now, we're 3 points out of first place. and like, we're doing really, really well. So I think most rational people can look at the situation and be like, we're in a great spot. I'm sure that's somewhat we're going to talk about tonight. And Zaha, I told you this, Lee, I almost feel like this post could have been a way for him to actually intentionally put some pressure on himself, right? Where maybe he feels a little bit different than England. Maybe he's wanting more people to chirp at him. Maybe he's wanting some of that pushback to like motivate himself. I don't know that, but I don't know if anybody knows exactly what Zaha's goals are there, but I could see it being a fabrication to kind of like spur himself on.
Yeah, that's JT. Do you want to chime in?
I was going to say, I don't know. Vaughn just blew my mind with the whole idea that, yeah, it's part of the marketing thereof, or what you would call it. And Zaha, you're right, but no one was complaining about Zaha. I mean, why would he put it out there like that? And he's got tough skin already from being. Something seems a little weird. Although this was the one thing I was trying to bring up earlier. I don't care what y'all saying. Like Jorge tried to say, Top Ben tried to say that no. He's a professional. Having a kid and a wife, he can just do whatever. A nanny will take care of it, or whatever. I'll just keep on being professional. The fuck? Because I'm telling you, it affected him somehow for him to be sleep deprived in his professional world. This is my theory, that he was like, man, I got to deal with this shit. And then he scrolled to some social media shit. And then he's like, man, these, and went third person. That's what I'm saying.
So, in my opinion, like, American fandom, at least the Shard FC fans, are tame compared to Europe. Like this, what I'm reading people bitch about Zaha here is nothing like what he got.
He's sensitive, man.
No, he's not. That man, like, just the newspapers over there would drag.
He's sensitive, right? In the sense, this is his first kid, right?
I don't know. I don't think so. So I don't think it has anything to do with Shard FC. I feel like somebody was going off about how his career's tanked and he ended up at the MLS and all that sort of stuff. And he finally was like, you know what, screw it. I'm tired of being a scapegoat at, like in Turkey or like not at Manchester United or you know, whatever, and being that big fish in the small pond at Crystal Palace sort of thing, right? And now he's sort of his career is going downwards. I think that's more of what he was pissed at than anything Charlotte FC fans had to say.
And I think it's also, we've got to be realistic. I mean, he's expressing what we say all the time, is that for people that are new to MLS, that are coming over from overseas, we saw it even with Pep Biel, right? With a slow start. There are so many outside factors that impact their play. This guy's had thumb surgery. He's had going back and forth from US to the UK for the birth of his child, for post-birth, for going through his visa, for finding a home, for missing some of preseason training, for playing on turf for the first time. He's outlining all of those things. And remember, he also hasn't played in all 10 games. He's played in 8 of the games.
Yeah, he sounded spent. He sounded spent after a shitty game, not for him personally, but it's like, don't put it on. To Lee's point, we can all put it together. We can all be right. And this is a good lesson for everyone out there. 2 people can be right at the same time, or even 3 or 4. We can all be right.
You're a scientist.
I'm right. He was spent for all these different reasons, traveling, whatever, and only played the 8 games. Lee's right too, that he's a pro and all that kind of stuff. And I forgot the third point, but nonetheless, that Lee's point about someone's trolling him that really pushed his button. But I'd like to say this one thing: straw that broke the camel's back, in the sense of
point
has all this stuff, and then all this stuff, and then all this stuff, and then somebody got to him, and he's like, after a game they lost at home to the worst team in the league.
Well, New England's not the worst team in the league, I'll say that. But also, we don't need to have him or any of the guys playing in form, top form, and firing on all cylinders in April. We need it in October. Like, as long as he takes this, uses it as fuel to get things figured out, and he's acclimated and feeling good and connecting with his teammates and not disgruntled, and the team all believes that they can win titles come October time, November, into the playoffs, we're not going to be even... Forget what Zaha put on his Snapchat in April. Forget about it. This is going to move into the past.
Forget about it. But I mean, that's a valid point, right? But it was just funny. Like you could just tell throughout the pressers after the game in New England, the whole team was just like pissed off that they lost, right? I mean, Dino, he came out angry. I mean, he does sort of complain about refs quite a bit, but like, he was very pissed off this weekend, especially with the referee. Westy, he didn't sound like he was, you know what I mean? It was like they knew they should have won that game. They had the chances to put that game away way early. And it was just one of those games where we didn't finish, like we just didn't score the goals we needed to score, where when we go to Montreal, we nick one that's like, we probably shouldn't have won that one, right? So it ebbs and flows, right? And I mean, that's the part of the game. And, so if, Zaha, if you're watching this, man, which I know you are because you're a big fan, we all love you in Charlotte, man. We want to see you succeed for sure. And the only gripe I have is that when that cross came across that one time, he was wide open. He should have just hit it first time instead of trying to pass it back across. But that's neither here nor there.
Zaha, 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 ha, ha, ha. I'm still trying to get that going. I got to throw that in there every once in a while.
Yeah, I mean, I get tired of people, especially after the game, right? When we're interviewing, they all want to go straight to the refs, man. I just think I just get tired of blaming the refs, right? If you score the goals, then the refs become mute at that point, regardless of what happens throughout the game, right?
Well, Dean, I think this was Dean leaning into the refs the farther not only on the pitch, but in the post game interview, he was just, I mean, if we all respect Dean, like I think we do, and we respect his honesty, he really was like, that was some of the worst sleeping, whatever.
Well,
he gave it
I'll say
harder
this.
than I've ever seen him give it to him, and he got a yellow during the game.
Well, and I think really what it more boils down to, we saw the "I hate Carlos Heel" comment. We had all the people complaining about the refs. I think really the one that irked me the most, and I think really deserves a lot of credit because this isn't his first rodeo on it. It's Caleb Porter. I mean, this team came in with a plan that was a hack-a-shack game, right? Like they wanted the ref to have to make calls and get physical and get under your skin and you know, some of this is Caleb Porter teaching his guys to come in and be aggressive. And you know, Dean was complaining about the center backs or no, their forwards leaning into our center backs on headed balls and not even going for it. Right. So Dean was frustrated that the refs weren't protecting and were not calling aggressively what he felt were common standard fouls. And Caleb Porter and the New England Revolution leaned into, we're getting away with this game. We can be physical, we can get chippy, we can get under the skin, and they won the dark arts in this game. Where they won this game was in the dark arts.
That's exactly that. You get that, man, and you're 90% of the way there already, in my opinion, right?
Vaughn, because I was just thinking about hack-a-shack. I mean, how many people? If you could explain real quick, I could explain it. But since we just jumped to a metaphor of NBA, hack-a-shack was just like, it doesn't matter. And to your point, if the refs are letting it happen, it's easier to just foul Shaquille O'Neal, Shaq, and put him on the foul line, which he was terrible on. Then, I mean, that's great strategy. I mean, if they're like, hey, at this point, whatever coaching was happening, and I know like what the Suns owner now owns the team and all that stuff, or the owner, whatever, they own the team and it's being run not properly, supposedly, but whoever hired whoever, that was smart, real smart.
Yeah, no, I mean, again, right? I mean, it is, right? You know, I mean, even us backyard armchair football players, right? I mean, when we're out there playing, once you realize a player is frustrated and getting frustrated, you just keep on until that ref tells you to stop, right? I mean, it's basically football 101, right? And especially as you become a professional, for sure, right? You're always in the ear. You're trying to take the player off the game the best you can. And essentially, as you know, Zaha was obviously getting frustrated at himself at first, I feel like, and maybe some of the other players on our team, right, were not passing or making the runs or whatever. And then New England just capitalized on it, and they just kept on, you know, chipping at his ankles and, you know, mouthing off and just trying to round him up, man. Because I mean, get him a red card, right? Because he's going to react somehow, and if he gets a red card,
you get stuck in. You don't give them any time and space to turn. You make sure that every time you close space to them, you get an elbow into their rib section. You make sure the tiniest little pull. I mean, Carlos Hill forced a yellow card on Brant Bronico that it was laughable, but like, okay, did Brant touch his arm and prevent him from going? Yes. Did Hill overreact to try and earn the call? Yes, it's a 50-50 moment, and you're forcing the ref into making a call. The frustration is when you feel like all of those calls are going against you, but it's also your responsibility to lean into the how the ref is reffing the game. And you saw when we did our acting, when Bronico took a hit in the back and he fell down, the acting was bad. It didn't garner anything.
So we're a good second half team, but that's the point. Once we knew, as our coaches are really good too, that the refs weren't going to call this, you know, and it's the roughing up and stuff. Did we not reciprocate, or did we? To your point, Paul, did we act? We played the fool, played the.
We fell into the trap. We took the bite. We got caught.
Do you think they?
By the end of the game, you got Dean getting a yellow card for telling the refs that they're incompetent. You got Zaha chirping to the sideline and getting into beef with Caleb Porter. You got Bronico faking trying to get fouled in a free kick. I mean, there were so many moments that were like that. But this is the other thing that I want to say, right? There's a lot of people that are like, oh, I want the reffing to be better, and we need to do this to be world class and all that. Guys, this is what I love about MLS. Like love it or hate it, like this is what makes MLS beautiful to me. Like if you want it to be the Prem and you want it to be La Liga and you want it to be Bundesliga, that's great. You're not going to end up with any American players playing in MLS. You're not going to have any of these wonderful stories about Ajiman because there's going to be no space for that type of guy on an MLS roster. And we're not going to have these fun dialogues around what's an offside, what's not an offside, what's a foul, what's not a foul, what's reffing incompetence and what's not, pro, VAR, blah, 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 blah. Love it. I love it. Soak it up. Like,
Vaughn, to me, it seems, like it's pretty messy, you know. Oh shit, I didn't mean that way. Messy with a Y. I really didn't. But like it's like this thing is still forming as everything does, but it's getting better and better, and it's unique. It is not
unique.
No one gets relegated. We have playoffs, so the Yanks can understand what the hell that is. Whatever. But it's you know, and there's only the older players that come in, they still do, and blah blah blah. I feel the synergy of it. Like, oh yeah, it's unique. It's not the classic. It's not the best of the best, obviously, but it's something.
Yeah. I mean, you guys, there's another game where people are going to complain about us, you know, getting a PK a week earlier when the contact starts outside of the box.
Yeah,
clear as day. There's another week where we get one guy that gets a yellow card for a foul in the box, and another week the guy gets a red card for a yellow in the box. Like,
you know, great. This is what I think is so great about this and our short history, right? The expectations for this team are high, right? And they can actually get to those high expectations. And so, you know, we've been spoiled at the bank, right? I think that was like 7 games on the run we had on the track, right? That we went and we lost.
I think it was 8.
7 or 8. Right. And I mean, you know, the boys played well. Bottom line, right? I think they played pretty good, right? For the majority of the game. There was periods where it was like, oh no, here we go again, sort of thing. But for the most part, I thought they played pretty good, right? I mean, maybe this is the start of a road streak that we go on, right? I mean, I would rather take the loss here and go on like a 3 or 4 run streak on the road, especially with the games coming up, right? Because I mean, these are some crucial, like this game this Saturday to me is a 6-pointer. Right, it's if we lose that game,
the next three road games all are.
Delve into that. I know we play Columbus, and obviously they're like right there with us, 2-3, whatever. But Vaughn, please tell us your knowledge of this.
I mean, our next 3 games, we got on the road at Columbus, at Nashville, and at Orlando City. And mixed in there is we have a U.S. Open Cup game at NCFC. Yeah. But those 3 games against Columbus, Nashville, and Orlando, those sides are all the teams that are in the playoff picture. They're all going to be fighting for that top 4 or 5 seed range. So all of these are potential tilts that could shift us from hosting or ending up being the team with the downside and having to have 2 games on the road. And also, I think those 3 teams have played 17 games at home, and they've won, I believe, 13, 14 of them. So, like, it's going to be tough to go in there. Oh, no, excuse me. 10 wins, 3 losses, 4 draws. Yeah. So they've only lost 3 of their 17 home games combined, those 3 sides. So it's going to be a challenge for us.
Hey, Cutmaster Cool V coming in with the stats, y'all.
But we want this, man. I want these tough games, right? These are the games that you sort of live for. Right. I mean, you want to play the best in the league and you want to compete with the best in the league. And like Charlotte's no pushover. Right. And just for the record, anytime for the rest of the season, we're doing fan interviews. If the refs get brought up, I'm shutting it down. Right. We're not going to blame the refs anymore this season. We're just going to let the game speak for itself.
Oh, hold on. Y'all, he can't shut it down. I got the camera. I'll shut it down.
But regardless, we'll shut it down. No more bitching about the refs. It's a no. So their goal, Vaughn, I've watched it a couple of times. It's really hard to tell. I personally think he was onside, but
I see why it didn't get overturned. It was too close to call. I don't know that there was a definitive angle. I think you have to go with the call that's on the field. I personally felt it was offside, but I can see why it was too close to call. At the end of the day, you got to close the space to Carlos Gil. Yeah. like you let Carlos Gil get a clean cross into the box, into a dangerous area. You know, I also think it was savable by Kalina. I think if he had committed to the far post, he would have had it saved. But it put him in a tough spot. It was against the run of play. That was what was most bummer about this game is we controlled so much possession. Our 18 shots, we got into dangerous areas. We weren't clinical keeping it on frame.
4 on goal, right? 18 shots and 4 on goal was terrible. We had 55%, 55 something possession. Like, I just think we should have done better with what we had, right? I mean, you know, 18 shots is a lot. And just as any typical away team does, though, right? You don't go out there to play like a really attacking football, right? You kind of sit back and take your chances. And New England came in there and did that. I mean,
and they're a good defense. I mean, at the end of the day, their defensive record, they've only conceded like 7 goals. Like they're a good side on that front. No, it's really simple for us right now. If we score, if we break the seal, we're scoring 2 or more goals. Like that's been a pattern through this year. But we have several games where we've been unable to break the seal, and we end up getting a 1-0 loss at Miami. You know, this game here. We've got to just move past it and know that if we play that way more often than not, we're going to come out with the positive result.
100%.
I got a hot take. Number 19. I was just reading through Facebook and some other social posts. So what do you think about this, Vaughn and Lee? Take out Ajiman and Abada and put in Toke and Vargas as a starting 3 with Zaha.
I'm torn, right? Because I also was reading and, you know, listening to the pundits that get paid to do this for a living, right? They were saying, you know, like that some of them crosses were for Pat, but like, you know, I believe Vaughn, we might have said this in that group chat, right? Like, yeah, Ida might have missed the header and knocked it wide, but Pat probably wouldn't have run into the box, right? So it's you know, it's give and take there. I mean, different style players, right? It just really depends on the game, I think. But, you know, personally, I think Abada had an okay game. You know, again, we expect more because he's our DP and he cost us $8 million or something like that. But, you know, I don't know. Like, I feel like Abada sort of running that fine line where if he doesn't start producing or getting in there, but then I'm all over the place on this one because then you look at the stats, right, from FootMob or whatever you want to look at, right, and he's up there in the top. So I don't know, man. You know, maybe just because he's not involved or doesn't show up as much, but I mean, he's still a decent player.
Well, and I've said, you know, I've talked about, I personally would like to see Shimong coming off the bench still. I think Edon starting and him coming off the bench is a different threat. And I've been banging that drum since last year. And it's nothing against Pat. Pat just hasn't been a first half goal scorer. He's got 2 first half goals in his entire time with Charlotte FC. It was against Miami last year off of a throw, and it was the PK that he got. What was it last week that he earned? That's the thing is right now he is getting. We see him improving. We see him using his physicality. We see him getting center backs on yellows and drawing penalties and doing some good things. I think his hold up play, his passing, his touch in and around the box has improved drastically over the past 4 or 5 games. But Edon also provides a different threat. But I also want to remind everybody that the role of a starter in a game is very different than a sub. And I equate it to, like in baseball, a closer. They're coming on to be a specialist. They're coming on to run full bore and to go for 20, 30 minutes max to go out there and also attack maybe a guy on a yellow or to change a tactic to go against a guy that is on tired legs and has been out there for 60 minutes. It's a totally different skill set. And when you see Toklamati go out there, you're like, oh my God, he's amazing. Yeah, because he's doing really well against also the tired guys that I feel Ajiman would do really well against as well. This is the question to me. Does Ajiman starting and Toklamati coming off the bench yield more goals than the inverse? If Toklamati's starting and Ajiman's coming off the bench, do you gain 2 or 3 goals? That's the question. And does making that change impact you defensively? Do you end up conceding more because one or the other guy is out there?
Well, so to that point, right? I mean, is Dean struggling with the fact that Ajiman was called up to the men's national team, right? And now he's sort of he's gone up a notch, right? In regards to everybody, you know what I mean? It's like some
I don't
players.
think we're struggling. I don't think we're struggling at all. I think I look at the team and I say, how many goals are we sitting on? 17, 18 goals?
Yeah, but
Like-
I mean, Pat's there to score goals, right? How many has he got this season, like you said?
2, and Abada has 2, and Zaha has 2, and Biel has 3, and Vargas has 1, and Clemani
Get him,
has
man.
1, and Westwood has 1, and Bronico has 1, and Privet has 1, and Malanda has 1. Like, it's okay. It's okay. It's coming from everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like there's a lot more expected out of Ajiman, right? Since he got called up, right? I don't think he would have. I think Idem probably would have been starting by now if he hadn't made it to the U.S. men's national team. Talking about Pat.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, if we're averaging 2 goals per game and we get to the end of the year and we're sitting on what's 34 times 2, if we're in the ballpark of 65 goals, yeah, but if we end up with 60, 65 goals, great. I don't care where it's coming from. It doesn't matter that one guy's got 7 and the other guy's got 8, and I wanted him to have 20. That'd be lovely, but it doesn't matter if we've got 65 goals, and that's what we're averaging. We're going to be great. It doesn't matter.
Yes.
Who cares that it's not Ajiman or Zaha?
Yeah, but to that point, right? I mean, forget the Zaha stuff, right? But Ajiman's job is to score goals, right? If you've got somebody else like Pep scoring more goals than Ajiman, I think there's an issue there, regardless of.
Okay. Josef Martinez has 5-6 goals. He scores 4 in one game, and he's sitting on 5 or 6 goals for San Jose. Where are they in the standings? Last year, Benteke won the Golden Boot, and the guy doesn't even make the playoffs.
Yeah, but that's not what I'm saying, right? Benteke's job is to score goals. He scored goals and won the Golden Boot, right? Pat's job for us, his only job really for us, is to score goals. That's why he's there, right?
No.
That's what strikers are supposed to do, is score goals.
No, you're supposed to stretch the field. You're supposed to challenge the back line. You're supposed to force the ball wide. You're supposed to tire out center back. You're supposed to force them into tough situations where they pick up yellows. You're supposed to change the game state.
Yeah, I get that 100%. At the end of the day, you could get anybody to go up top then and stretch the game, right? But at the end of the day, you want them to score goals, right? If they're not scoring goals, then they're not doing their job as a striker, right? That's their number one job, is to score, right? Yes, the other stuff come into it, to stretch the game, like you said, right? Maybe like Zaha likes to pull people, he gets double down, triple down sometimes. But at the end of the day, if Pat starts backing in goals, it'd be great, right? He needs at least 15 goals this season, in my opinion.
Well, then
no, I don't think so. I think what we need to do is we need to ultimately, at the end of the day, win games, win titles.
I mean, of course, that's the ultimate goal for the whole team, right? I'm just talking about individually here. Right.
Yeah, but individually, Ajiman has to impact the game positively.
Yeah,
and I think he's doing that more often than not. I think the whole front four is. I don't think we have a problem.
Again, right? We're 8-9 games in. I'm not too concerned about it yet. I'm just saying, right? Along the stretch, right? There's got to be something, right?
All right, boys. Choose a number. Let's digress. Digress.
Why are we going to cut it off? It was a good discussion.
I know, but it's been going on for too long, man. We got to move it along.
We do. We still got 30 minutes left.
25. Come on, tighten up. Pick it
All right,
up.
That's how many people are watching.
How many?
19.
Oh, too late. It's already been done.
Game 11. All right, then 18.
Oh, pick a number.
5.
Oh, yeah. So what's the deal with Ream? And now that we keep on bringing in more defensive players, and the one goal, that beautiful, I guess like golf, because we're going all over the place tonight, Vaughn. It's like a slice, but it seemed like Ream like over jumped him and couldn't recover. Whatever. What's the deal with Ream and the basic defensive line right now?
I think the defensive line's fine. I really don't see a big issue. I think Scardina's performed well out there, and Ream should have closed the space on Heel's goal. That would have been nice. But Ream has protected the back line. He's cut out a lot of entry balls. He's cleared the ball with his head out of there. He's been clean in possession. I think he's been largely good. And also doing that as a left back. Like we know he's a center back. He's a career center back, and he's been a natural slide over to the left back position. It's worked. And we also have a team that defensively, before this last week, we were, I think, a top 2, top 3 defense in terms of goals against. We're still top 5. We're perfectly fine. It's okay.
About the back line. I'm not worried about the back line at all. I think, I'm not sure.
Didn't we just pick up somebody?
That's it. Is that new guy coming in the match, or is he still on a visa? That I'm not sure. I haven't heard anything about that. So, Vondi, have you heard?
Are you talking about Jaquil Marshall-Ruddy?
Yeah.
I haven't heard, but I'm assuming he'll wrap up that visa pretty quickly here. Whether he's available in Columbus or not, it's gonna be 1 or 2 games. He wouldn't be probably starting for us against Columbus, anyways. It's also a little bit weird. He's like a wing back, like he's more of a winger than he is a true right back. So it'll be interested to see exactly how he gets added into the mix.
He's doing pretty well. I mean, I think I would give him like at least 4 or 5 games, right, to kind of see, unless he just has some howlers in there. But I think he's come in and he's slotted in and taken over for Byrne pretty well. And, it's good to see Byrne sort of kind of talking to him, right, and giving him pointers.
What's Byrne's injury?
He had something with his
neck. Yeah, he's getting surgery on his neck.
Oh,
So
he's getting surgery. So he has like a bulging disc or something?
Yeah.
So what's the prognosis? I mean, is he out for, what do we know?
I think they said 6 to 7 weeks or something like that.
So so this is a valid point, right, that Kyle brings up, right? The back line I'm not concerned about, but I thought we actually did better this weekend, but the other games, it's been real easy for us to play through, right? I mean, I've said it a couple of times. It's like we have a donut, right? We just had no midfield. And, but like this weekend, I saw, Westwood actually had a decent game, right? I thought he played pretty well. And when he stepped up, it was definitely a lot harder for them to play through us. And, they had that one chance and they capitalized, and they just sat back and run the clock out.
Well, it's a very demanding on Westwood and Bronico. I mean, they have to basically lead the league in distance carried back-to-back seasons for what the system calls for. Right. They have to cover a lot of ground. They have to stay very physical. They have to do it without picking up yellows. They have to manage a long season, and it's very demanding on them.
I feel like the depth there, though, when you look at the bench to kind of help them out for those, right? Like you said, right? It's a long season. I just don't think the quality's up there like we have in other positions, right? So, and segueing from that, Pep went off, right? He had a tight hamstring. Have we heard anything? I haven't heard if he's going to be out. Because if that guy goes out, man, that's really going to change up a lot of stuff.
Yeah, that's the biggest narrative coming out of this game. That's we've buried the lead putting that 43 minutes in here. Right now, our metronome is 1,000% BL. He's a MVP caliber guy, and the big part of the creation and why we have that spread of everyone getting involved in attack, it's because of BL's distribution. And to that point, the midfield, he has been all over the place, but there's times that he's not part of that mix in the midfield. They're trying to get him advanced. They're trying to get him into pockets. And that's why you end up with Westwood and Bronico just having 2 guys to cover 3 or sometimes 4. That's a challenge for anybody. But BL, I haven't heard anything. I mean, there's nothing indicating that he's out long term. So I think it's just hamstring tightness. I don't think he tore anything. It's not like he's surgery. But it's more something I'm a little concerned we have to monitor and manage throughout the year, because he had his knee thing earlier in preseason and now the hamstring. We're going to have to lean on him when it comes late in the season. And right now when the schedule congestion picks up, I mean, I think we got 8 games in May. Some other people are going to need to step in.
Yeah.
Way to bury the lead, Vaughn. Way to bury the lead.
Bury the what?
Vaughn says about burying the lead earlier, which is saying that you don't tell someone what the biggest story is out the gate. And Vaughn's like, yeah, we buried the lead until the 43rd minute. So I'm just blaming it on Vaughn.
I'll take it.
But again, I mean, that's a part of the MLS too, right? I mean, the quality drops off quick in different positions, right, throughout the league. And it's just, we'll see, man. Hopefully he's fine. We can rest him when we go to Cary. And, we can just slot him back in again when we go to Nashville. So fingers crossed he makes it through, because that guy's came out cruising this year. And like you said, Vaughn, he's definitely hitting those MVP numbers, and rightly so deserves all the kudos he's been getting from us.
Knock on wood.
That's it. JT, man. Yeah, 3. Well, I think like the next 7-8 games, or not the next 7, but like out of the next 8, we've got like, I don't know. It's like out of the next 7 away games or something.
Yeah,
something.
Number 10, like 7 of 9 games away in the next 2 months.
Yeah, it's a lot, man.
And then
eight of the next 10.
International break, and that's what throws off normal fans and trying to get into it. I'm like, what the is going on? And because all the Premier Leagues, aka whatever, all that shit, they have their standard of the calendar, and we overlap it, but we also have to be congruent with it. And then there's it's just weird. It's hard to, it's a great experience. It's awesome. But for a normal North Carolina born and raised fan, it's a little hard to understand what the hell's going on.
The only gripe I have with the MLS schedule, I could care less about the home away numbers, right? It's like, I just think you should have to play everybody in your conference one time before you play them again, right? Because the season's so long. If I'm playing, for instance, Atlanta twice in 6 weeks, right? At the end of the season, they could be a completely different team than they were at the beginning of the season, right? And that's the one thing that I just get frustrated with. But, I digress on that. There's not much.
That's the one thing.
That's the one. Yeah, it just makes no sense to me. Why do you want to play the same team in 6 weeks when you should have to play everybody first in your division, and then you go back through and play them again?
Well,
and now actually fix some of that away sort of long stretch that we're facing too, right?
But I think that's also part of MLS. I mean, it's like why are we all gone for so long this summer? Like, why does the team have a lot of these road games? Because we're hosting Club World Cup. We're installing a grass field. We're we got Savannah Bananas coming into town. It's like,
hey,
some things
I know this is a perfect time to interject this point, which I love to put out there for all the people. This sports entertainment is a business. It's entertainment, people. At the end of the day, they're trying to get people in the seats.
Yeah, but
and all that stuff. It's great to have whatever the best entertainment. Cirque du Soleil, those are the best acrobats in the world. It's great. But I'm here to be entertained. Are you not entertained?
Again, right, the team's doing great, and I'm happy to where we're at, right? But at the end of the day, it's also a results business, right? So, you can only be entertained so much when you're losing, right?
I'll just say this. This is also the good times.
It is the good times.
I think people need to remember that, like, a team being on 19 points through 10 games, this is what you want every year. Like this is what a good MLS side looks like. It just is.
But that goes back to what I said earlier, Vaughn, right? It's like our expectations have clipped up now, right? And so we expect to win at home, right? We expect to be able to compete, and and rightly so, right? And again, like I'm happy where we're at as a team. I don't want it always to be a bitch fest. But for some reason, Charlotte FC really makes it easy for us to have something to talk about. Right, if you go from the Mar to the Latanzios to all that mess that happens off the field, and then right, it's just continuously gives us shit to talk about.
Well, thank goodness.
Entertaining.
Entertaining. You think I like to switch out sunglasses and hats? I don't
Fair.
like to do that. No, I love it. I love it. And to that point, hey, I want to make this other point. Players will leave, coaches will leave, DT will still be here, management will leave, whoever else will leave. But guess what? Fans and the owner, for the most part, we're going to be here the whole time. La Familia.
At least for another 7 years.
Fans outlast owners too.
Yeah, well, definitely. Well, yeah. So I think we had a discussion about. Was that with you, Vaughn? I forget, man. I talk to everybody I can about Shard FC, and you know, my biggest fear has always been like if DT one day just said fuck it and picked up the team and took them to Detroit or something. But then I looked
about that. I do wonder about this, you know, because forever to get into the MLS, you had to build a dedicated soccer stadium because they didn't want the huge, you know, or whatever football stadiums being used for soccer because it would look so weak to have 10,000 in a 70,000 stadium. But then in the later years, lucky for us, in Atlanta, they're like, you know what? Sure. If you pay this, you can already have this huge stadium. I wonder about the other owners. They're like, man, we could build out 30 plus, but guess what? We can't because our stadium can only get 25 plus.
Well, now a big part of it is that you either have a stadium that is built or renovated like ours to support soccer, to have the camera angles, to have the locker rooms, to have the dedicated spaces, to have the center walkouts, to be tailored to that environment. That's the requirement. That's what the league, yes, they wanted a lot of downtown stadiums. They wanted them to be soccer specific. But to your point, Atlanta and Charlotte, the league much prefers over what they have at Chicago and New England. They don't want to be a secondary tenant. What they're trying to avoid is to have to make the schedule changes because of what's happening for the NFL sides, for them to be restrictive in how they make changes. We're talking about potentially changing the schedule to the European calendar. That is going to be a big problem for us with the Panthers playing in the same stadium.
Well, that's what we need to have.
The same owner. The same owner. So how does that work? So you talking about a little asterisk caveat to it? I mean, we're getting deep on it, but that's I wonder.
But I mean, I guess that's one of the good things for having AstroTurf, right? It allows you.
The trade-off will be we will have the European calendar and we will have football lines on the soccer pitch.
Yeah, there's that too, right? But you know, I don't think we've ever lost a game when the NFL lines have been on the pitch. For the record, there, somebody prove me wrong on that, but I don't remember us losing the game.
Yeah, that's funny. Lee talking about somebody prove me wrong, and the person we literally have on the show right now would be the one to prove us wrong.
That's
you know why he can't do it? Because he's talking to us. Thank you, Vaughn.
There's a lot of knowledgeable people watching us too, man. But yeah, I mean,
not like Vaughn.
Oh, are we still there? Oh, I couldn't totally froze.
What was that, Lee?
Man, I was just letting him. Yeah, go ahead, JT. Do you think?
Man, listen. People don't want to see us bicker. We don't want to be. They don't want to be reminded of their marriages or their ex-marriages.
Yeah,
all right, Lee. You want to hit people with trash cans? Okay. Let's see.
Build a stadium where you got the reclining field, so that way you can have the soccer pitch underneath.
I got a question. I got an inside question. Have they resolved the club that the people who are on the march still get the giveaways? Because there's a giveaway this weekend of scarves, and did someone hear the call and say, "Man, if we're staying back and we're huge fans, we need a
giveaway last weekend
or 2 weekends ago?" But has it happened?
Was there really a scarf giveaway? I don't think the last giveaway that I know about was to clean a brick wall finger, right?
Yeah, there was a scarf giveaway thing.
There was a scarf giveaway, yeah.
Huh.
So to that point, the answer is no.
No, I didn't know we had a scarf. Well, I never even seen it. I haven't seen anybody.
I think there was a limited number, but it wasn't like everyone gets one.
So my understanding with that is if you're in the march, then what they did is they held some back that they didn't give away at the stadium to give to the supporter groups presidents to give out to their members is the way I understand it. But I didn't even realize that was a giveaway.
Yeah, I didn't see many of them, but I just remember filling out the calendar and be like, this
Well,
is
it's making sense. A couple of people tagged us in the story, and I was like, man, why are they trying to get us to push their scarves for? That was the giveaway scarf. Now it makes sense. So if I didn't add to the story, you tagged us, I apologize.
Designed by a kid.
Your own shit.
That's when
What's he
that's when you need to consult me on that shit. Be like, you know what, man, come on.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if this is true. I mean, prime seats, what do you consider prime seats, right? Some people like the vault. Some people like to be right behind the goal. So, but yeah, I don't know. I didn't realize that was a giveaway. Normally you would have said that. Why didn't you say something last week, JT?
I did. You didn't pay attention. But I want to digress. Vaughn, there is a word that matches your first letter. You are the only person that I know who's had the vault experience. Can you give us any insight into it? I've been to it when the press was there, but like the true during game, because the press is not allowed there. That's one place. It's like you can walk around here, but not here.
Yeah, it's bougie. It's nice.
People want to know the bouge, man. We're not faulting you. We know someone gave you the ticket. Give us a little insight, man.
Yeah, they have a nice little catered buffet down there. They have a open bar. They have some of the food is tailored to who's playing. So like if we're hosting Nashville, they might have Nashville honey hot wings or something like that. Some nice seating that you can enjoy down there. You can see the players walking out from the locker room. The locker room is like literally right next to that walkout spot. So you get to see the players come and go, but they kind of cordon it off while you're walking out. But yeah, it's cool to rub elbows. You can see Zoran and Bobby Belair and some of the scouts they're down there. Often they'll even have like Zoran will be with some European agent that nobody knows, but you can tell he's showing somebody through the building. And then for the game,
I was gonna say, how well dressed is the European agent?
Oh, they're in suits. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I just say you're like, oh shit, that's some tailored Milan Italian suit or whatever.
Yeah, but and then the game, like it's a tough angle for watching the game. That's the only challenge. Is like you're relying on the scoreboards a lot to see, but no, when Zaha's running down the left side, you're right on top of you there. It's pretty cool.
To be fair, when you're standing in the sports section too, and the flags, and people don't wave them flags, and they just have it there. You have to look at the scoreboard too. So,
but like you get to high five the players, and when they're going into the locker room, you can say, "Hey, keep going," and like they're hearing you because they're within whisper distance of you.
What about the bar like where you can hang out? That looks like a scene from the original Star Wars in Tatooine, where they built it like with all these little concrete whatever. That's a strange little scene. And if that is like wherever like the you're really rubbing elbows with the hobnobs, that's interesting.
That's a little cantina down there.
Yeah, definitely a little cantina. Hey, Greedo shot first. I know that, Vaughn. I know that.
Man, so it was all right. So we had our loss at the stadium, right? Our first one in 7-8 games, right? But even the best security was off, man. We were doing what we do week in, week out, and those guys were like getting pissed off at us. And it was like, why are you so angry? Like it was just very overly aggressive. Best if you're watching this or anybody from Charlotte FC, the way we were talked to and was told to basically just stop like chanting was ridiculous. It felt like the first game.
Be more specific. What do you mean you were asked to stop chanting?
Yeah, well, it wasn't so much chanting, right? We sing, for instance, Westwood song, right? And when we say he's from Burnley, he drinks the fucking tea, right? And the guys, you say fucking one more or the F word one more time, you're out of here. And it was like, come on, man. Yeah, it's like-
Whoa. Come on,
Yeah.
burying the lead. You're telling me there was someone in security
Yep.
that while you were in the supporter section,
Yep.
lower level,
Yep.
trying to tell you as a grown adult
Yep.
at the scene with your shiny that you can't say the F word out loud?
Yep.
What the fuck is he talking about?
Push back on him a little bit. Next thing you know, there was like 4 or 5 of them there, like ready to escort us out. So
Oh shit!
it was-
Man, hey
Yes.
Nick Kelly, if you're watching, that's some bullshit.
yeah,
No, seriously, Lee, if you're, I mean, I know you're telling the truth, but if that is right, I mean, what the?
no, I let the club know I was very like, you know, it wasn't just. I mean, it wasn't towards me. It was the people around me.
Whatever. But
Yeah.
still, if the provocation was people loudly saying "fuck," that is some bullshit.
Yeah, no, it really was. It did, right? I mean, it kind of killed at least like, you know, because we stand at the back of the supporter section, right, on the lower level, and I guess they basically were leaning over and telling us, but like 3 or 4 rows down, it just kind of killed the vibe for us, man. And it was like, you know, why you got to be so aggressive, new
And
guy?
that's why we lost. It wasn't the refs.
Yeah,
Kidding,
But-
kidding.
yeah, we don't talk about the refs, right? But yeah, it was just so yeah, Charlotte FC, if you're watching this, man, like let's not go back to like, you know, first 3 or 4 games at the bank. You know, I figured we had it solved.
You understand that there's the club, and then there's the people who manage the Bank of
The
America.
club can talk the best and be like, yo, man, these are them guys. They're not doing
get
anything
it.
wrong.
There is, you know, there's the Bank of American staff and employees that do the concerts, that do Panthers, Charlotte FC. It's its own entity. And obviously DT. That's what we need to talk to DT. Figure that shit out. Get on the show.
Yeah, I mean, like
Let's party.
the old, yeah, right.
Yeah.
The old timers of best, right? They understood, right? They weren't getting involved. But it was like there was like 2 or 3 new guys in that area that just wanted to kind of throw their clout around a little bit, right? And it was just disappointing.
I heard too that wasn't one of the major matches in Europe, whatever. Wasn't Barcelona playing that night? Some shit.
Yeah, my
on
dog-
Saturday night. Wasn't there another major game somewhere?
I don't know what you're talking about.
While we were playing? Well, okay. Well, then I heard wrong.
You're
I thought there
breaking-
was some other great European game, and that's why some people might not have shown up.
Bayern Munich,
I don't know.
like Bayern Munich supporters group was there, and they were doing some things at Clutch. That's all I'm aware about. But yeah, I mean, to Jeremy's point, my 10-year-old daughter was sitting right beside me, and I was, you know, it's like, come on.
You get it. I mean, whatever. It's one thing to say the F word, the S word, the D word, the GD word, the whatever word. It's all in context. It's all how you're using it. Now, if you said you to a certain person who happens to be in some sort of position to have authority, that's a whole different thing. But if you're doing a chant that everyone else is singing, that's why I'm like, what the are you talking about?
Yeah. Anyways, if the
That's a
club's
weird digression. Didn't see it going that way.
that's right. This is what I feel. F them kids.
Yeah, no doubt.
That's it.
Kids.
Yeah. So, all right. So, this game this weekend, Vaughn, give me your score prediction.
Oh man, I could see this being our first draw. I think this could be a 1-1 result.
Well, that's good, right? You'd be happy with that.
I'll take it. I mean, we
Yeah.
went there and beat them last year, so
Well, not happy, but after losing, you'd be like, okay, I'll take that. This is like
against
it's
this
stabilized-
Columbus side, I think a 1-1 result at Columbus would be good.
Yeah, it's stabilizing the ship. Everyone can take a breath.
All right. Fair enough, JT.
I agree with Vaughn. 1-1.
Yeah. I think
I'm
I
on the
think-
Vaughn train.
I think we lose this one 2-1.
All right.
It's gonna be tough, right? It's our on the road. They're a tough team. You know, I just don't see us pulling this one off. Hopefully, we can come back and like pick that back up though when we go to Cary.
Um,
So 2-2. Everybody's
Hey,
agreed.
you know what? I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna say that we're gonna win 2-1 because it's my birthday that day. So
Oh, what
2-1.
happened?
Oh,
Happy
hey, you
birthday.
know
That's it.
what?
I was originally planning to go to this game, and then I didn't end up scheduling the trip. So
2-1,
yeah.
2-1. What did I tell y'all earlier? I'm with Vaughn. 2-1. Happy birthday, Vaughn. Hey, don't
Keep the
say
positivity.
slice of cake for me. It's cool. I just want to be a part of the experience.
Just know if we lose, they're ruining my birthday, and I will be black and blue and all sad.
Oh,
You'll still eat cake, right? You'll still eat
just
cake.
with this, man.
Yeah, I'll still eat cake.
Yeah. 1-0 Columbus, no Pep. 1-1 if we have Pep. That's valid. Columbus will have possession. We're counterattack. That's our game. That's fair. You know, I don't think we're that bad either when we go a little direct either. So
Not bad. We're good. We're good. We just the most of the fan base doesn't even understand.
anything else we need to touch on? Happy
Oh,
birthday.
hey, please.
There.
I want to end the show with one thing. And once I pull this picture away from the camera, then cut it, Lee. Because Lee, you're kind of known for cutting me off a little early. Because you control all this stuff. You're the beep bop 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 beep bop bop. So just let me do this one little thing. And once I take the picture I'm about to put up here and remove it, then cut it. Okay? Cut it.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Vaughn, people want to know how to find Vaughn and find us.
Find Vaughn first, whatever.
Find Vaughn at VIP.
VI Pullman. VI Pullman right there.
Yeah, right there. And you find us at TFC Fan TV on all the socials, and hit the like button for us if you're new here. Hit the sub button, yada yada yada. Hey, when are the fan interviews getting dropped?
Tomorrow.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah,
All right.
really. You passive aggressive mother. Anyway, I just want to say this. We'll miss you. You gave us such great content, especially from the young ladies, in our first ever draft. And I hope to see you around sometime in the future. But much love and adios.
I know where he's going.
To Ben Bender. Ben Benny. We love you, dog. Seriously. Good stuff.